We are live now.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good
Stop.
morning. Good morning to all of you.
Spazzy.
Great.
Azzy.
Great.
When red robin comes bobbing along. Hey,
Good morning.
good to Morgan.
Why are you so chipper?
I know. It's disgusting.
Because I almost finished distribution. I got the table out of here. Most of the papers are gone.
I got it in the mail. I haven't opened it yet.
Yeah,
You got
don't
what?
want to look at that.
You got what in the mail?
His magazine.
Right.
His
Right into recycling. Okay, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
No, I open it. I'll open and read it. I always do.
Thank you.
There's no. I don't do it. It's not one of those things. I've been waiting for months, and I just rip it open and.
No, it has a 2-month shelf life. No, it's
Well,
got a.
I keep pushing Jim that he needs to start putting a centerfold in it.
Well, the Georgetown Records here has like about 4 issues piled up.
They don't move a lot. There's what's that place on Colorado in Pasadena where they own the building? What's that place, Rob?
Canterbury.
They have the Pasadena Weekly, which is a weekly community newspaper. They have about 20 issues, back issues lined up, all pretty, and I don't know why.
How thin is that paper now?
Pasadena Weekly?
Yes.
It's not that bad. It's pretty good.
Who owns it now? Because it used to be, didn't it used to be owned by the LA Weekly?
No, never. But it was used to be owned by a really cool dude. But I think it's owned by a printer. A printer owns it. I'm not sure which one. But I'm sure that some printer does it. Something like that. Morning, JD. Your package is going out finally. I finally got distribution done, so I'm going to send your.
Well, wait. What are you sending him?
None of your goddamn business.
Hold on. Is it a white powdery substance?
No, he's got a piece in this issue. He did. Hold on. We have a new writer. We have a new.
Wait, hold on, Roberto. What accusations are you throwing? Based on what?
Mike Finnegan. Anyone know who Mike Finnegan was?
I used
Keyboard
to.
player.
Yeah.
Really cool dude. Amazing artist. And our newest writer, JD Cohen, did this piece.
Was he the Marlboro Man?
Nope, but he was a smoker. And just a really cool dude. I think he played the keyboards on Electric Ladyland and shit like that. He was the real deal.
How does JD know of him, or how can he write about
it? I was sent some info. I'm a fan, and I sent the info to JD, and he did a really nice piece for me. He's like
JD in the article. Is there like a hidden clues? Like the first letter of each sentence
tells you exactly where to mail the poisons.
That's what I think.
Rob, your auction ticker is still ticking.
Oh, thank you. Someone told me to remember to turn it off. Come on. I am barely awake by now.
Morning, Chris.
Oh, I didn't even look to see. I was assured there's something in here. Here it is.
What is that?
The Post Record Store Day Recovery Plan.
Who wrote that?
We got something from
the Boomer Scout. Well, my name changes. Now it's Rob the Waxed. Sometimes it's the Boomer Scalper.
It's both in this issue. It's the Boomer Scalper column by Rob the Waxed.
No,
which I find the closest thing because you are not, in fact, a boomer. Okay, that's number one.
That's the funny thing of it.
We're doing a joint auction Thursday, 4:30 Pacific, with Kimbo, Joey Callio, and myself.
So, okay, the way you said it is you're auctioning off joints.
No,
yeah,
that's what I said. A collective.
Can I celebrate
collaborative auction on my auction site?
Can I celebrate the magic of me a little bit?
Yes, you can.
Now, I was asked by a very cool dude.
No, you weren't.
I
Tim,
didn't ask you anything.
Tim University of Vinyl. Do we
Okay.
agree he's a cool dude?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
texted me yesterday. I won't reveal the information.
So Tim mentions to me, "Hey, I've been looking for this record for a long time. If you ever see it, please let me know." And it's never a record I would connect with Tim, but he was looking for it, and occasionally I'll remember in my head, "Hey, he's looking," and I'll go check this artist section in stores I go in to see if the record was there. I hung out with Jim yesterday. We went and what do we do? We went and dropped off papers at stores that I don't normally frequent, and we went to one of the few Jewish delis that are still in LA. Mort's,
Deli.
which is
Pretty
good. It's good. But so after I left Jim, I went over to Amoeba, and I went the rounds and picked up a bunch of records, and then I go, oh, let me go check for Tim. And guess what happened?
You found the record.
There,
I found the record.
What record is it?
The record is George Jones, The Grand Tour.
Huh.
How much would you think typically George Jones records go for?
$5.
$6.
This particular one goes for money.
What's money?
Money is,
I know what money is, but it used
depending,
to be worth more before the current administration.
depending,
Dang it.
$30 to $150.
Whoa.
I mean,
Wow.
depending on condition, it can be a $50 record, maybe more.
But you're a broker now. Is Tim aware of that price?
I'm not. I don't think there are certain genres, especially here in LA, that I don't feel like they care about valuing them. I'm gonna charge them what I paid for it, which
so
was
you didn't pay that much. Okay.
No, not at all. Not even remotely.
Did you pay
And
more than $20?
No, not even.
Okay. Well, there you
And
go.
I cleaned it. There were some shadowy marks, but it plays excellent. But this, if you ever see
Jones
this,
is great. George Jones is great. I like his record.
my impression of George Jones is this: I'm trying today, but
that's like when you
How
talk
much-
about old jazz.
I think George Jones is responsible for the hole in the ozone layer. How much hairspray did George Jones use in the course of his life? That hair was impenetrable, shellacked like. But
It's
if you ever
it's
see
rough.
this record, grab it because you can sell it for $30 plus, maybe.
I'm not a scalper, dude. I don't care. I don't want to deal with
Dude,
people.
what did you show me before we went live?
I forget.
He goes, I'm going to sell these. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. What did you do last week?
I bought a bunch of shit that I'm going to sell, but not
There you
records.
go.
But not records. Here, who needs mini discs? Got 3 of them in the shrink.
Hey, Yvonne, none of your business. Hey, let me ask you. You told me a story yesterday that was like, oh, a guy Jim knows went into a Best Buy
Oh yeah.
and
Yeah.
he walked out with a Macintosh amp that cost $10,000. You said, or $12,000?
Well, yeah. It was I think it was the 275, the integrated, brand new.
And what was wrong with it?
It had 2 busted tubes.
And he walked out with it for $1,200.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean there was a used copy, like a demo copy they were selling?
No. Well, yeah. It was a floor sample, and it had 2 busted tubes, and he overheard them talking about it. They were going to trash it, and he offered to buy it, and they contacted the supervisor, and he charged them $1,200. This is a guy.
How much are tubes?
For
$100.
A Macintosh.
How much are
$100,
tubes?
a couple $100.
So
Um,
no wonder Best Buy is.
yeah, no shit.
I mean, they're still around, so
So this is a guy who bought my Harman Kardon Citation 2 amplifier, big 70-watt, weighs a ton. He bought it, and I said, "How's it working?" He goes, "I've never plugged it in." I said, "Why?" He said, "Because he got that Macintosh like 2 weeks later."
Yeah.
Hey, hold on. Barry, enjoy you. You're a nice guy, Barry. But you already know the answer to this.
24 hours ago, I posted a video that has almost 4,000 views about this.
Yours has how many views?
Let's see.
Let's view shame people.
I'm not going to talk about anyone else. I have, based on my backlink, it shows up a little. I have 4,400 views in 23 hours.
Okay, on level of Beatle news, where does this land?
This is a big deal. This isn't just another remix reissue. This is the Beatles. Apparently, I don't know if they purchased it again, but they own that Savile Row building. I assume it was sold before. They didn't own it, and they bought it back, and it's going to be basically a Beatle museum.
What's the significance of that building? That's where they
was where Apple Records was, 3 Savile Row, right where all the tailors are, the suit makers, parallel to Regent Street. It's where they did the rooftop concert.
Yeah.
Some of Let It Be was recorded. I think 2 or 3 songs were recorded in the studio downstairs that Magic Alex, the savant, designed, removing some of the posts, structural posts, and the building was sagged. They had to move out eventually because of that. And they're renovating 7 floors of interactive museum. They're going to have.
When did they purchase it back?
I don't know. I don't know. I was there. I didn't know. There's been a plaque on it. The plaque's very high, so people don't steal it. It's been vacant for a few years. For a while, it was an Abercrombie and Fitch store for a little bit. But it's going to, you're going to be able to go on the roof. I mean, it's going to probably be limited because the roof is not that big, as you know, if you've seen the film. So I'm not sure what you have to buy tickets to the place. There's a gift shop, the usual stuff. But the Beatles finally have a London place that's theirs. That's not just Abbey Road, which is not a Beatle. I mean, it's not owned by the Beatles.
Is there an existing type of Beatles museum type of thing anywhere?
No, there's never been anything. And think about, I mean, in a way, that seems small for it, because if anybody went to see the big Yoko exhibit or the David Bowie museum exhibit that toured, I think there was a Pink Floyd one too. Those are massive exhibits, and you just know they could do a massive archive. I assume with the Beatles, there'll be an area where they rotate the collection, because this could be they could mount a big worldwide museum tour, like at the MoMA, San Francisco, the LA Museum of Modern Art, obviously the Tate Modern. Brooklyn Museum, they could do a big tour, like a curated tour, like these other artists have done. That would be a great way to launch this thing in London, because people go there anyway. But when I went there early in the morning on a weekday, and there was no one there. But obviously, once this happens, it's going to be a crowded area.
Hey, I tend to remember from watching it that a lot of people were happy they were playing and stood there watching it.
Yeah, but the cops came and it was noisy.
Okay. That's the way we remember it.
Naughty boys.
Well, they were loud. This was 1969. They were loud.
Not far from here, a couple months ago, Weezer went on a roof in Venice.
Well, before
played a show,
the Beatles were not first either. The year before, the Jefferson Airplane did it in New York. And what is the French filmmaker filmed it from across a building across from the hotel. So the Jefferson Airplane. Godard. Yeah, You're right. Jean-Luc Godard. And just for anyone who wants to know, it's pronounced Savile Row.
Hey,
Seville?
Did
no, Savile.
George Jones ever play on a roof? I know he was probably drunk.
I don't know. Well, the Replacements album, Call Let It Be, they're sitting on a roof in Minneapolis, and this is kind of based on that.
I mean, there was that band last year. What's that band?
Yeah, U2 did it. McCartney did it on the Ed Sullivan Theater.
Last year, there was this band whose tour was just going to people's houses and setting up and doing shows. What was that band from Oklahoma?
I did get this album. I didn't realize I did a video on Sean Ono Lennon leading up to. I haven't reviewed his new record yet, but I did a review on him, and I have this CD. This is The Ghost of a Sable-Toothed Tiger. This is the acoustic thing he did with his girlfriend Charlotte. This is such a beautiful. I had no idea until I researched it when I made that video that there was a vinyl version. So I found on Discogs. It was about $40 on Discogs, so it wasn't jacked up, but there weren't a lot of them. But I tell you, this is such a beautiful folk. Got a little psychedelic, a little French pop, but it's really a beautiful harmonies of the two of them. So if you're looking for a vinyl version, go get it before they run out. Chimera, I mispronounced it, and I was educated on that by a few readers or a few viewers. I said Chimera was the label, Sean's label that did this. It's Chimera, which someone said it's based on the this amoeba type thing. It's actually this Greek serpent woman, mythological woman, the Chimera. So
if you look at her in the eyes, you turn to stone, right?
No, that's what's her name?
Medusa.
Medusa, exactly. Thank you.
I knew it was Medusa.
Yeah.
Hey, I picked up a lot.
Charlotte was a model. Charlotte was a model, but she's got a beautiful voice, and she has her own band. She's a bass player in another band.
Hey, I picked up a bunch of records yesterday. One store we went to, which it's not the best store. CD Trader in the Valley.
It's good.
They pack their bins too tight, and their records are easily 30% more than they should be.
Wow.
Thank you, Ivan, for your Wikipedia post.
Yeah, people stop addressing Mazzy while I'm talking. Okay?
Shut up. Rob, just let it flow as all natural.
Yeah, when you talk, it does flow. But there were some cool records on the wall there. But I can't imagine. I know that Blue Notes, OG Blue Notes, but they're like $2,500 for that. It seems a bit much to me. I found that for $200.
There's no album I'd pay $2,500. There's no album I'd pay $1,500.
Yeah, they're plenty, but this is cool. All these Charlie Parker 10 inches that were on the wall, those were $500 each.
Wow.
But but they had this is like I was taught by a very trusted person, go to classical, and I've cultivated the classical, and especially people come to the auctions, but their classical section had a lot of good stuff in it, and it wasn't priced high. And here's one I'm trying to identify what it is, pressing it is. This is a sealed living stereo. I think it's a White Dog, which is a later 60s pressing. But it has a textured cover. If you see it, you could see it kind of going through the plastic. So I don't know what that would signify, it being a textured cover. I don't know if anyone watching knows that. But it's sealed. And I found a bunch of cool stuff. But here's the cooler classical stuff. And I kind of talked with Jazz Bum Mike because he likes doing the deep dives about this stuff. And I don't think Mazzy knows this. But contemporary, when stereo became the fashion, they started a label called Stereo. And they didn't put out a ton of records. But I found a couple contemporary classical records. And this was done under the Stereo label. As you can see, the green with the stereo in the box. And I cleaned this one. It looks like no one played this. It has the original contemporary inner sleeve, which I really have never seen.
Wow.
And this is just violin and piano. And it sounds incredible. This does sound really nice. So I think Mike told me that they did 10 classical records. So that's that's the cool thing about digging and looking for records and finding stuff that looks interesting. So I found, yeah.
I've been playing with this unit.
Don't talk about playing with your unit, Matt.
It'll be a few weeks. It'll be a few weeks.
I'm not even done yet, but he's interrupting.
Oh, I thought you were done. I'm sorry. No,
go talk about what you need. The grave, Mazzy. Hold on.
No, because you guys are always into it. You guys, no.
Mazzy gravy train.
You guys are like, I'm not a gearhead, right? But I was sent to test, and it's going to be a few weeks because I've only really tested it once, and it's pretty amazing and pretty nice design. This is what's it called? This is the Whitebridge M2 record flattener.
Oh,
and it's
how did they come up? How did they come up with M2?
Because
I guess
the M1 didn't work.
What does it look like? Can we see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
It's pretty sweet looking.
It does one at a time, right?
One at a time, 4-hour thing. There's a low, medium, and high temperature.
You can't manipulate the settings, right?
There, those three, and it's very heavy. It's like 32, 35 pounds.
Now, are there plates inside that you put the record between?
It's glass, right?
Yeah.
The top, it's almost like a waffle iron, a waffle machine. You pull the glass up.
Waffles in it?
You can put up 4 different clicks, positions. You put your record in. There's a spindle in there. If it's a normal record with the lips, you just put it glass to glass. If it's a thick lip, there's these 2 pads. One goes before and under for 45s or 10 inches or 33s, and you put that in. And you put it down and you hold down the button just 2 seconds. Once you get it into your low, medium, high, they suggest you start in the medium one. And for 4 hours, it automatically then cools down and automatically goes off, and it says finished at the end, and you can take your record out. You can also remove the spindle, and you can put in like, for instance, see this? This is a sealed record that's kind of curved. You can put a sealed record in sealed and flatten it as well, just like this.
And it won't melt the shnikes?
Supposedly, they suggest. I haven't tried it yet. They suggest it. They're testing it out now. I'm testing. It's a company that makes other stuff that's not record related, but this is something they've been. It's actually,
let them know, because
what do they sell for?
He said 700, right?
I think I don't have the exact price yet. It's not available yet for sale, but it's fucking solid and well packed. And I mean, this is first of all, I'm not the audience to buy one of these, but everyone I know now wants to bring their stuff. Oh, it's much nicer than that.
Well, no, it isn't, because I'll tell you. Well, this is a $2,500 record flat.
Well, this is nicer looking, and also there's a stand. Hold on a second. I'll be right back.
Well, Mazzy's away. I'll tell you. This is the one this is Jim's, and this one you can manipulate it, like settings and stuff. It does 2 at a time, and you clamp in these metal plates. It took me over 8 months to figure out how to use this, and since then,
you're like a master at it.
Yeah, since then have a pretty good success rate flattening records. So, would I say this is great? Well, it kind of died.
We burned one up.
One kind of burnt up. The manual that comes with it is virtually useless. It is so not written.
This is from Germany.
Yeah.
And their translations are terrible. Whatever.
And I contacted them and I said, your manual sucks. And they go, yeah, it does.
Okay. There's a stand. If you want to, you can store it flat like a Laserdisc player if you want, or you can stand it up in this stand like that.
Oh, wow. That's revolutionary.
Well, think about it. A lot of people don't have the shelf. I mean, not the shelf, the flat space, unless they're using it.
So you
Well,
put it in the cupboard or you put it in a closet.
But it's really heavy to move around. I mean, it's a heavy thing. I mean, yeah, you can lift it, but it's
Well, you know, Jim's very against vertical.
Yeah, no, it looks like the monolith.
Must be horizontal.
2001, but I tell you, this is. I'm not the audience for this, but if this works, I have my friends lining up and want to do it. But the only problem with this kind of thing to me is, really, you can do 2 or 3 records a day because it's 4 hours,
Right.
But if you have a record, I'm going to try it with a warp lip, and I don't think it's going to work on that. But I have
my experience with warp lips. It's very hard to get
lip warps, but go ahead.
Lip warps.
It's very hard to get them flattened.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Because I have an original Slits album with a lip warp that's fucked up. I'm going to try it though. Looks like a PlayStation. It does.
You can get them to the point maybe to hold the groove, but it's very hard. So I've had success, but not a lot on the lip warps. Right. Hey, Alex Dickey. This is like typical conspiracy theory horseshit.
What? Eating her mom?
Justin Bieber.
First of all, you don't eat your parents.
First of all, it's documented that Justin Bieber is bordering mentally.
Are you talking about she's eating out? Is this a sexual thing?
No,
I don't know.
You drink the pineal gland, I believe it is. What is it?
Hey, and Alex Dickey, you'd be better off accusing people in the vinyl community for doing that.
Don't address the people in the peanut gallery, Rob. Okay, I'm going to talk about...
Hold on. I'm including you in this. I'm not... Your problem is you're doing another stream during this stream.
No, I'm not. Okay, can I continue? All right. I want to talk about music now. I did my first...
Go back to your flattening.
No, the flattening to be continued. I'm going to work on that.
Have you flattened a record yet?
Yeah. The Joey brought his Afro-Latin Soul, the Ethiopian Quintet record. It was very warped, and it came out beautiful.
Nice.
You know, it was one of those warps like that, and it worked. He had to leave before we got the results. I have it here for him. He thought we had to put it in twice, and it didn't. It worked beautifully. But yesterday, I got this call from a guy I sort of know. There's a record label in San Francisco called Tompkins Square Records.
Yeah, they put out jazz stuff.
Yeah, they put out all kinds of stuff too.
But isn't Tompkins Square in New York?
Yes. This guy's from originally New York. His name is Josh Rosenthal, I think. Mm-hmm. And anyway, I met him a couple times at the KUSF record show in San Francisco, but he says, I feel really bad. I didn't invite you to this in-store Sunday night. And I heard about it, but I didn't know the artist. And this artist did an in-store at Easy Street Records. She's a young folk singer out of Nashville called Maisie Owen, not to be confused with Maisie Owen. And her album, she brought a CD, but basically we did a tiny record room concert here. And her and another musician that she plays with sometimes came, and her manager and this other woman was there. So 4 of them came here. We set up, she did 3 acoustic songs in my record room. I recorded it. I don't know, maybe next week I'll post something about it. It's just really moody, beautiful. She's a little bit, think of the, like a female Drake, you know, Nick Drake, a little that British stuff. Well, you know, obviously compared to Mazzy Star, but not the shoegaze.
Is this the one with the tats?
Yes. She's 23 years old. She's born and bred in Nashville. It's very.
How old is she?
Fun. I'll show you a picture. We set up.
How old did you say she was, Maz?
Shut up.
Now wait, how was she? Was she touring through Seattle?
They're doing a Northwest thing. They did like 3 or 4 shows in Portland, some like in cafe type venues. She's opened up. She's in Healdsburg the next 2 nights in the wine country.
Healdsburg? Okay, yeah.
That's her. Maisie Owen.
Oh, that's the one who I have tattoos older than her parents.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I think her father is a musician. But it's really cool stuff. It's very moody. Obviously, she did solo here. There's more musicians on a few of the tracks, and she has some double tracks. Obviously, reverb more. So maybe we could do a series of like tiny desk concerts, but tiny record room concerts if other artists come through. You know Maisie Owen, Nick? Well, interesting. So we had Maisie and Mazzy in the same room here.
I just said next time, have her hold up today's newspaper so we know.
This is a 45 of the lead singer, a stereo and mono. I haven't listened to this one yet, but this is the one that she apologized because it was in her purse and she kind of warped it a little. So I may or may not put it in the machine and test it out,
How many songs did she play for you?
3. I just said pick 3. I thought that was enough. I don't need a whole concert. So pick 3, ask her a couple questions in between.
Halfway through it, did you just hold up a lighter and light it?
I did not. I didn't. But they, all 4 of them were really enamored with the record room. They were going through the record room, pulling out things to look at. And
how many Nick Drake records did they pull out?
Well, we talked about Nick Drake actually, because there's a quote on the PR thing that Joe Boyd, who produces some of Nick Drake stuff and Fairport Convention, she's very influenced by Bert Jansch. Obviously, she's not as prolific guitar playing. I was playing a John Fahey record CD when they came in downstairs, and they recognized John Fahey right away. But there are people like this other guy who didn't play with her, but was in here, is Jordan Day. And he played one song that I recorded. I'm not sure if I'm going to put it on the same. He's a great singer-songwriter, too.
Where's he from?
Nashville as well. They're kind of on the thing together, but he was in town there was a metal fest that he played in this band Metal, but his main music is rootsy stuff like, John Prine and big influence of Townes Van Zandt. Really good. So I recorded one song with him that I might put on the same video because it just goes together. Yeah, the Metal Fest. There was a Metal Fest of some sort. I forgot what it's called.
They were there to play the Metal Fest?
This guy played in some of their band then he did his own stuff separately. He goes, I played this acoustic song in the middle of it. Actually, people enjoyed it.
Well, that's neat. I think that would be cool if you could regularly do that.
It'd be fun if people reach out, people do their home concerts and they raise money for the artists. Everyone pays $10 or donates $20.
You're not going to have people like that in your house.
People like that. Yeah, those people. I'm not going to have those people.
Mazzy, you're not going to have 20 strangers in your house.
I know. But I have you guys. I had you when we had the audio fest.
Unfortunately for you, we're not really strangers.
That thing about that record room, the sound is so dead. It's actually a great space for recording if you like it very dead. If you want a little room noise, it's not the best space.
Well, isn't that what all the ladies say when they come over?
Yeah. No, I thought of it before. In fact, I almost reached out. What's her name? Emma Swift, who's Robin Hitchcock's girlfriend. Beautiful records on her own. She did a great Dylan record of the pandemic, and her last album last year was beautiful. She reached out. I'm on her mailing list, and they're looking to do house concerts in certain cities, and I didn't register. I almost offered it and here's what you got to do. You got to have like 50 people and be able to have the space and stuff and all those things. So
plus, legally, what's allowed in your house?
Residents don't have things that say the capacity. You don't do that with houses. But you've been here.
There's noise ordinance that says.
Yeah, but we're not talking about metal bands. We're talking about like folk singer types.
Hey, some of that music is grating on the ear.
Seattle is a big. Harry used to do it. I mean, if Harry's watching,
I know
Harry would do a lot of in-house concerts, and Seattle's a big town for that kind of stuff. It's still a big music town, and people love that kind of stuff, and they're pretty respectful when they do that. They're paying $20 to donate. I can't remember how good. I think you can sell a can of beer or soft drink or something, But
Hey, Jim, Big Ian's trying to ruin Mazzy's flow by asking you a power chord question.
I have a ton of power chords, 2 of which are a little bit upgraded. They're not like super upgraded, but they're like, $100 to maybe even $300 power chords. I can't tell the difference, but maybe it all adds up, kind of a thing. This system that I just bought a couple weeks ago, there are 6 power chords that at the time this guy bought them, they were probably at least a couple of $1,000s each. And there are 6 of them. They're like this. They're
And you still have all those power chords.
Well, my partner in Arizona has them. We're trying to sell them. Power regeneration, power conditioning. I've never really had success with it. I've always thought that 2 marine batteries and a inverter and a trickle charger would be perfect for a system, right? 2 marine batteries, a really good inverter.
Man, he's giving you stellar advice there, Big Ian.
But no one ever does that, so there must be a reason why.
You won't clean power, and if you can. The best thing is just run if you can afford it. Usually it's about $1,500 to run, but that's a lot. But to run a separate line from your box to the wall where your stereo.
Hey, wait! Don't ask Jim questions, and when you don't like his answer, don't insult him. If anything, Jim is high. He's not drunk.
Possibly. I have my friend Bob Donnelly and I went in on that audio equipment together. Bob is the quality control guy at Impex Records.
So are you raising all your records by 3.2% since inflation just increased by 3.2%?
Well, unfortunately, I have a different attitude about that. And I've been doing this for 50 years. I buy high and I sell low. Somehow I get it to work. I don't know. No. And what I'm finding is that my records, who's this? Here. My records by and large are going down in price. Period.
Well, it's because you only buy one type of record.
Classic?
No. Zappa.
60s and 70s.
Mac Davis?
Dude, Mac Davis is through the roof. You cannot find any copies of Midnight Crazy. I have the market. I can do whatever I want to with it.
If I had to say Jim has mastered, when he walks into a room, he dials in the best way to annoy everyone in that room.
Yeah.
And we were in the store, and I heard, where are the Mac Davis records at?
I'll say, I like to mumble, is there a Mac Davis department?
Yeah. That's smart. Jazzy Jeff said he ran a direct line and is happy with it. That's true. We did it when I renovated my place in San Francisco. We would run direct lines to the media wall, and each quad, even the left and right, were separate lines. So when you have a quad of plugs, right there, the 2 lines would be separate, which I wish I had that here,
Please understand Jim's connection to Mac Davis. I said to him yesterday, please name me one Mac Davis song. He couldn't.
This is not about the music. This is about that record cover. That is the best record cover I've ever seen, with the foot in the mouth. Come on.
All right, let me go back to showing the rest of the records, because it's very anticlimactic right now. I did find a sealed OG copy of this record, which is probably top 5 Pablo. Definitely one of the best sounding Pablos that they made. This Count Basie, Me and You. I know Chad reissued this, but this is a nice sealed OG.
Very nice.
Which I was turned on to this record by Poetry on Plastic because he went to a audio show where someone demoed this, and the demo blew away everyone there, that it automatically jacked up the price of this record. Like, this was probably one of the highest going Pablos there were at one time. It jacked up the price big time. You couldn't find this record. So that's cool.
I think that's Mac Davis. Sorry. Yes. Sorry.
Just, here's the deal. Write down all your Mac Davis bullshit, and I'll make you shine with it. This just came out. Mal Waldron and Steve Lacy. There was a Record Store Day record year before last, I think, of them live. And this is one at Mazzy, how often did you go to the Yoshi's?
In San Francisco or Oakland? That's the Oakland one, probably. Yeah. Not a lot, but I'd say I went there maybe 25, 30 times ever. My last time was right before the pandemic.
What was the more prominent one?
Well, the big one was in Oakland. That was the main one. It started out as a sushi bar that had jazz, and it expanded. There's a sushi bar.
I have several recordings.
Restaurant. They opened the one in San Francisco. It didn't last long. So I saw Van Morrison there. He did like a 4-night thing at Yoshi's before the.
I used to go there. That's a good place.
This
Jack London Square.
Yeah, this is just piano and saxophone, and they're doing standard.
Is that a 70s recording? What?
No, 94.
Oh,
they're doing standards of Ellington, Monk, and Strayhorn. This is good. It's a double record, and it's $40. I like this. So this came out Vinyl Me Please. This Errol Gardner record, Magician. I think it originally came out in the 70s, I think. This was put out by Vinyl Me Please in 2020. I found that. I found this Mo-Fi. This Hank Crawford Mo-Fi. I think that, I have the Hank. I don't know how desirable Hank Crawford stuff is. But I have some of his funky stuff on Kudu that I think is good. This is an early 60s recording, and this is a 1990. Is this the year that Mo-Fi was bought and resurrected in 1995?
I don't know.
That's when this came out. So I think that might be it.
When Music Direct bought them?
Yeah. Because these look like the ones that have still come out and that was numbered, but this is from 1995. So, and then, yeah, all the classicals. I found a bunch of living stereos. This is an OG Indianapolis pressing, and this is a very clean. Like, this store had clean classical, which is hard to find it clean and nice. That's kind of cool. So there you go.
Oh.
Yes, I have the George Coleman live at Yoshi's.
Here.
That's probably digital. This is the year they started the digital.
Someone asked about the Claypool Lennon. It's really good. It's a fun album, and I haven't done a video on it yet. I'm going to do that and the new Lemon Twigs together. I think they kind of go together. They're different, but they're in that.
When did the Lemon Twigs come out?
Same day, Friday. They both came out this past Friday. And the thing that reminded me on the Les Claypool songs, some of them remind me of, the Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah.
What's up the Jack? The Jack. It's that kind of Oingo Boingo guy, Danny Elfman type of singing. What's it called? Something's wrong with Jack. Something happened. What's the lyric? The Jack. Very kind of.
We're with you, Mazzy. We know the song.
Yeah,
everyone's seen the movie.
And I love that movie. That was a movie that Joe, my son Joseph, and I was really into. And
I think almost every year they do it at the Hollywood Bowl.
Yeah, it's so good. The music is so good. Something's up with Jack. Thanks, Gabby. Exactly. And there's one song in particular on the Claypool Lennon that sounds like that. It's one of those records that is a story like a rock opera, But like Sgt. Pepper, it kind of peters out, and it doesn't really matter. You don't have to follow it at all. But there's a wonderful comic book in it that tells the story, and it's really good. There's some good psychedelic pop in there. Some of it's light. It's not heavy. There's maybe 2 songs that are more heavily prog. Yeah, oh God, the bass of Les Claypool is amazing in that. And I like Sean's playing too. And I like his songs are in a way more spacey melodic, where Les
Do they
Claypool,
alternate?
yeah, not like one for one, but yeah. Claypool is a more staccato vocalist, very kind of quirky, whereas Lennon's got the moody side of his father's thinness to his voice, tenor. But it's good. It's a good record. It's amazing. One of the most beautiful packages that have come out this year in terms of the design. I know the music's important, but it's like you see why it's a $50 record. It's 2 records and a big, like a 24-page comic book inside. Really good.
Sean
I
and
heard it's
Yoko's work on this record is fantastic.
What is that?
This is the John Malkovich record that Sean and Yoko.
I-
Just saying. Hey, I bought a record. Can I show some records I bought?
I don't know.
I bought some records. I bought
My fears we're gonna all be dumber from seeing.
I bought this T-Bone Burnett record.
That's a good record.
It's a great fucking record. It's a promo. You can see it's stamped promo.
That's on Warner Brothers, right?
It's only $5, and it's QX too.
Warner Brothers, right? That's a good record.
And it matches perfectly with the one that I already had that I bought for $3.
Is that the one with Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend? Or no, I can't remember now.
Yeah, I plead with Jim to list his records on Disco.
No.
Listen to.
So wait, okay. So I bought the same record twice, but this was sent to me, and this is kind of good. Toadies. This is some hard stuff.
I just saw that. It came out Friday. Yeah.
This is some Steve Albini stuff, and it's very good. If you're into it, go get it. The reissue.
I want Jim to transition from Mac Davis to T-Bone Burnett. Can everyone send him that record?
Here's another record. Here's a record. I went into a record store and I asked the clerk, "What should I buy?" And he said, "Every time I put this on, people buy it." And so I bought it. It's really fucking good. It's some sort of Nightmares on Wax versus Adrian Sherwood. So this guy, Adrian Sherwood, went and redid a record called Nightmares on Wax. It is fun. It's very listenable. I was listening to it right before the show. Very good record. I also picked up this Velvet Underground Live.
I have that. I like that. That's the reunion.
It's so good.
It is good.
It's
like it's their 90s reunion.
How many of them
used to have it on CD, I think.
The entire original band.
Yeah.
And they only did a short European tour.
Was the Nico still alive?
No, not Nico.
Not Nico. It's Mo and
but it's got John Cale, Lou Reed, and Mo and Morrison.
Just the 4 of them.
And it's really good.
Excellent.
I mean, they're all better musicians like 30 years later,
True. Maybe that's why it's so gosh darn good. And then I couldn't resist. I bought this. This was extremely expensive. And this is some sort of a record store day reish, I think. David Lynch, The Air is on Fire. I don't know if you can give a shit about that, but this is some crazy trippy shit.
And VU tickets were too expensive. How much were they in the 90s?
2007.
Probably a lot cheaper by today's standards.
And that's it for me, kids. I got the T-Bone. I got T-Boned by T-Bone. There's another T-Bone. Oh, I have one other record. Actually, it's not here yet, but I've been streaming it like crazy, and I was one of the first people to order it on Non-Such. So yesterday, I received...
David Lynch did experimental stuff.
Yeah, he did a lot.
He did put out some records.
Yesterday, I received this.
Oh, that's from the... Is that Woo? Is that the Woo? No,
that's... I don't even know how this goes.
Is that from the Independent Project music project?
No, this is Laurie Anderson's new record, Let X Equal X, and it's autographed by Laurie.
I'm supposed to get that. I haven't gotten it. Yeah, I don't know. I want to get that.
I bought it, and I was one of the first people to buy it, and it came, so I got this for autograph.
I love Laurie Anderson. It's a 3-record set.
It's Really, I've been streaming it. It's really good.
Yeah, it's
really
typical Laurie Anderson shit.
It's
Well,
live.
that's good
It's
shit.
live.
Oh, but she does this. Hello.
She goes Latinx.
And that's good.
Okay, so one of my favorite soundtracks of all time.
We walk around the water. Yeah. Hey, ask yourself this.
I love.
One of my remember the thing on HBO that lasted about 6 episodes, Fishing with John.
Oh, it's more than 6 episodes. It was it's like 3 seasons or something. Yeah.
No, they only did. I have the whole thing on CD, on DVD.
Hey Siri, how many episodes were there of Fishing with John?
I know he did a whole nother one, Painting with John. That was a few more.
John has 6 episodes.
So shut up. I said 6.
Jim is right for once, and let's.
I did too. I have a DVD of him. Very good.
Hey,
my favorite thing about Fishing with John is the theme song, because it goes like this: Fishing with John.
Okay.
Yeah.
The pause is too long.
I have all the you know, I went to see a band like 7-8 years ago now called Sunflower Beam. I went to see them at this small club in Seattle, a trio from Brooklyn. And the opening act was a band I'd never heard of, and it was Lemon Twigs. And they fucking blew them away. Those two brothers and their tightness and their kind of 70s, like Sweet versus 10cc, Raspberries, Power Pop, very twee. I have all their albums on vinyl, and they're so good. I've seen them 3 times live now. They're just fun if you like that kind of, they're very smart in the way they're very intricate in their songwriting and production. And the two brothers are amazing vocalists and writers. A little bit of that twee wings sound too.
Did that record Brad put out for Record Store Day Black Friday?
Their father did, yeah.
Is their father stuff?
Yeah, and that's really good too. But yeah,
Bobby, I worked on a fishing boat. I was the lowest guy on the totem pole.
Jim, it's very rare that I allow you to tell something that you've said a million times.
Have I told the story of?
No. This is a better boat story. Jim had a record collection, and in the brilliant decision making of Jim, he lived on a boat for how long did you live on a boat for, Jim?
I rented a room on a houseboat in Sausalito, and I managed to move my records onto the boat. I didn't even move myself onto the boat, and the boat sank with my records.
Do you remember that there was that one big giant like riverboat that was docked in Sausalito semi-permanently? Do you remember that one?
The what?
It was like a big riverboat that was.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes people lived on it. I went to a photo shoot Michelle did in the around 90s, early 90s, I guess. It was a reunion. Rolling Stone used to have a series at that point, Where Are They Now? And it was Michelle and I and her assistants and a stylist spent a day with all the original members of the band Sopwith Camel. Remember Hello. And because they had lived, one of them, the main singer, had lived on that boat. So one of the guys, Norman something or other, owned a printing company in Oakland. They weren't really doing music anymore, most of them. That album, that first Hello album, that was one of the first big top 10 San Francisco band albums, Marin band albums. And they brought instruments on this boat in this big kind of open area, and Michelle photographed them. We hung out with them all day, and they played music, and it was really fun, and they were really good. But that boat went through a couple of revisions and renovations years later, finally, because it's kind of this great iconic thing right in Sausalito there, where all the houseboats are.
Hey, Michael Elliott, all you have to offer is your connection to anyone who talks about the sea and boats is a guy who peddled fish sticks. Thank you. Hey, can I rant? Can I rant for a few seconds?
No, I want to talk about
about your what?
Time on a fishing boat out of Sausalito.
Well, let's that bring tension to it, and let me tell my rant, and then we'll go back. I watched. Here's my feeling about Rick Beato.
Where did that come from?
Well, I'll tell you. Yesterday, he dropped a complaint video, and I feel like his complaint videos are very manufactured, and it's clickbait nonsense.
And people click and watch them. Yeah.
So apparently,
I'm sorry.
and here's another thing about people who have large platforms and bring up stuff that no one really. It didn't make much of an impact. It makes more of an impact, and you know about it because he's fucking talking about it. The New York Times got a group of their journalists together to come up with like the 25 best living songwriters.
That was 2 weeks ago. We already talked about this.
But he dropped a video yesterday, you putz. I'm not talking about that New York Times thing. I'm talking about Rick Beato.
Okay.
You know what? What I understand that when a publication like the New York Times comes up with a list of something, it's the opinion of the people who came up with the list. It's not my opinion. It's not my thought on the best living songwriters.
What was the title of the article or the video?
It was just Rick Beato kind of insulting these journalists and kind of bashing them, and because he did deep dives on their backgrounds.
Okay, here's the title of the video.
Yeah.
Watch this New York Times music critic embarrass himself again. So I didn't watch it. How does he embarrass himself?
He doesn't embarrass himself. These writers are kind of late 40s into their 50s. They've lived enough of a life to have opinions on stuff.
Okay.
But he was bad. Here's what I don't like what Rick Beato did. He was bashing them because apparently in Rick's world, to be able to criticize or come up with a list, you need qualifications and have some sort of musical background. When 99% of the people that enjoy music have no musical background, they are just fans who enjoy music. So he was bashing them. Oh, this guy went to Yale, and he has a journal.
But if he's writing for this is
well, hold on.
This has come up before.
Yeah, he goes. This writer went to Yale, and he has a journalism degree, so he doesn't know music. This was like Rick Beato's take.
I watched it too, and that's not what he said.
Yes, it is. Yes, he is.
What I heard him say was, out of these 5 or 6 guys, not one of them has a degree in music. Not one of them can talk about the forms of music.
Okay, that's exactly what I'm saying, Jim.
That was one point that he had that I thought was
the majority of the point he was making.
But we always hear these people, like all these musicians, right? Usually musicians are the people with the worst stereos and don't give a shit about vinyl and all that. I bet you Rick Beato doesn't have a vinyl collection.
Okay, here's how I'm going to make a comparison.
I bet he streams, right?
Okay.
What difference does that make?
It doesn't make a difference, but I'm just saying.
Hold on. Let's stay in line with this way of thinking about it. I respect Mazzy in his choice of music and what he likes. Is it what I like? No. When he talks about a lot of artists, they're not for me. Do I feel like Mazzy has no legs to stand on when he talks about music and criticizes it and goes deep into it? He's a fan who's listened to music. Does he need a degree to do it? No.
Some people have, like with me and others, will say, just because he has a YouTube channel, his opinion means more. He shouldn't say that about records. I've had that criticism too.
To me, Mazzy's opinion means more because of Mazzy's experience in the music business, which is very similar to what Rick Beato was saying.
But the music business today is nothing like it was when I was
Marcus. Here's the deal.
Yeah, but your experience, you can talk about
Jim. Marcus, here's the deal. They probably are obnoxious. And I said I left a comment saying they're knuckleheads. I understand people who are writers can fall in love with what they're writing. They might be very well obnoxious. Yes. But who's at Rick Beato's job to bash them because they have no leg? They have every right to come up with whatever they want to come up with. as music fans. It isn't divorced from them being obnoxious. I don't know them as people, and I watch some of them. I'm not a fan of people who come up with lists.
Well,
I'm a sports fan. This nonsense where people go the top 10 people, I hate that. It's stupid.
You know, I don't watch a lot of Rick Beato's videos. I respect him for what he does, and he knows music and stuff.
I like
and knowing music is one opinion, but also not being a musician and listening to a lot of music is a very valid and another opinion. Sometimes when you know how the pasta is made and the ingredients, you can get in the weeds of enjoying the music for just
here's another thing.
Music.
Here's another thing that
That's
Rick
a possibility. I don't know.
Okay,
If that would necessarily happen.
here's another thing Rick Beato does that I do not like. When he bashes
bashing,
when he bashes modern music, people who make music, because here's the one thing I remember historically, when rock and roll came out and parents would go, "You're listening to this horrible horse shit." Historically, older people do not get newer music. Historically,
I understand that, but historically, I don't think music has ever been as vanilla as it is right now.
But
there is a pendulum right before the Beatles. Remember how White Bread with Pat Boone, all these white singers doing black music?
Let me set both of you straight, because I worked in the movie business.
Really?
People say they don't make movies like they used to. You know my response to that is they make movies exactly like they used to.
Yeah.
Do you know, like in the 30s and 40s, they were making the sequel to the movie they were making the following week but here's the deal. In my mind, in a professional way around the world, there are over 3,000 movies made a year, Jim. So not all of them are stellar pieces of art. Not even close. Probably not even a major percentage of them are watchable. But
I'm not a movie buff.
No, but here's my point to make a connection to music, Jim. There's even more music made in a professional way each year. Are you telling me that you listen to all of it? And I haven't heard of the person that came to Mazzy's house. By the way, I don't think we'll see her again. I haven't heard of her.
I'm not saying all of it's shit. All I'm saying is this: if you go to Apple Music or something like that and you stream what's new today, or you look at the top 10 on the streaming services and you listen to those top 10 records, to me, they're shit. They're the same fucking song over and over. Let me give you an example. And I'm not saying it's new, but let me give you an example. I had a friend who had a buddy in New York who's a big time engineer, producer, blah, blah, blah. And this guy, he has had everyone recording in his house in Brooklyn. And, I mean, from Keith Richards to everybody's recorded records at this guy's house. This guy heard the best voice he's ever heard in his entire fucking life. The best voice he's ever heard. It was a female singer. He personally produced the shit out of her. He put together a CD and he took it around to the people that knew how to make it happen. And they all said to him, "She's what, 31? You don't have anyone 17?
Yeah.
And that was it. That's what's going on today.
There's a pop. There's definitely a pop.
You have to have a belly button, period.
There's definitely a female pop trend going on right now. Last few years, obviously Taylor Swift, and they're all different too. You can't say they're all the same. Taylor Swift and Olivia and Dua Lipa. And Billie Eilish, and they're all very different actually. And Billie Eilish, I think, is excellent. Some of the people are excellent. Some of it's that pop thing with 20 songwriters and producers and manufactured. The pendulum will swing. Remember, I mean, in the 90s we had all that.
I believe you that the pendulum will swing, but we have to recognize where it is right now.
Yeah, but hold on, Jim.
People are lazy and they don't want to. There's so much great music going on right now, And most people don't want to dig a little further to find that great. There's great rock bands,
Right,
there's
but
great punk
you're
bands,
more.
there's great
That,
folk artists and
yeah, but
Americana artists.
Mazzy, you're saying it the way I think. And here I teach a class in entertainment market research. When one of my students comes up with a music thing and like to do a study, I say to them, how do you find out about new music? That's a question you should ask people. And actually, I don't know how Jim finds out about new music. But Jim brought up something earlier that is quite commendable. And I don't commend Jim a lot, at least here. He walked into a record store and said to the person, "What should I buy?"
Yeah.
That's what he did. So, Jim, I'm torpedoing your nonsense by you did something that people don't normally, or I assume people do it.
I
But you
trust
ask
this guy's
someone
opinion.
at a record store who gets music all the time and plays it, what's good? How would you ever know about that album, Jim? How?
I wouldn't
On
have known about
Spotify?
that album.
On Spotify? No.
Maybe I do Qobuz. I get the Qobuz, and I do Apple Music. I would have, but I never saw that.
But
I don't know if they do.
But that's kind of what I'm saying. Yeah. Don't get me taken down because of copyright infringement, Mazzy. But
She won't be covered.
no,
There is audio.
But let's just stick with Rick Beato. I like Rick Beato when he interviews the musicians and does deep dives about the musicality of creating the music and their decisions. Where I don't like Rick Beato is it feels like clickbait when he does these manufactured bashing. Again, I'm probably with him that these guys who put the list together are obnoxious. I don't.
But people would say that no matter who put the list together.
But
Right.
okay, let's
Shitty
compare
list from his point of view. Why can't he go after it?
Let's compare Mazzy to Rick Beato.
No, don't.
Obviously, but Mazzy, do you have a degree in music?
No.
Do you feel your opinion?
I have a degree in film, in broadcasting, and communication.
For your resume, do you feel your opinion is any less valuable than Rick?
No,
Beato?
I think my opinion is as valuable. I'm probably 15 years older than Rick Beato too, so I have experience that way.
So all I'm saying is Rick Beato, his stance that you need some sort of music degree to put
I think that's
together
bullshit.
people.
That part I agree with Rob.
Is bullshit.
I don't.
Yeah,
one of those cats. They had like 5 or 6 people. Why couldn't one of them?
Jim, you dropped out of school. When did you drop out of school, Jim?
When you have when you had the new
functionally dropped out of school in the 11th
when you had New
grade.
Musical Express or Q or Mojo magazine, or you had Rolling Stone, the best of the year. Those were just journalists, and those journalists were just guys who wrote about rock and roll. You didn't have musicians and producers.
Wrong.
Not wrong.
I would say at least half of the guys that were writing about music in the LA Weekly were in bands. I would at least half.
Well, that could be. I mean, like Ralph J. Gleason, the jazz critic, wasn't. And yeah. Hey, I want to say one thing. You're talking about movies for a second. I want to just throw this out there. I finally on Sunday went to see Project Hail Mary, and I've been hearing about it and putting it off. And when I saw the preview, it looked kind of, this is going to be some tacky little ET bullshit. It's a fucking great film, and I can't. Yeah. It could have been really tacky. And they pulled it off.
It was a fantastic book.
It's emotional. It's funny. It's a really good performance by Ron. I got all new respect for Ron Gosling.
Hold on, Elliot. You're coming off now like you're sort of protecting Rick Beato. The dude was bashing these people that they didn't have the right to have an opinion.
Well, that's bullshit.
You should be bashing Rick Beato for trying to discredit a group of people who are expressing their opinion. I don't agree with them. I mean, if I had to put a list together of the best songwriters ever, I always say like Neil Finn. I think he's one of the best songwriters ever. Squeeze. the two guys from Squeeze, I think are one of the best songwriters ever. So but that's my opinion, right? And Rick Beato bashing people for expressing their opinion, he could go through the list and tell you why he doesn't believe each one of these people. I are not justified in being on a list of the best songwriters, but to bash people for expressing their opinions because they don't have music degrees, they don't have a right to have this opinion, is fucked up. It's stupid. It's clickbait. And if you're not in line with that, or you're defending Rick Beato and what he does, I like it when he interviews musicians. I think that's fine. I don't like it when he bashes the music that millions of people sit there and enjoy. Because again, let's understand this. Entertainment is there to distract us from the shitty world we live in. That's what it is.
People say lists are foolish.
I think
I disagree with that. I understand people not liking it, but the truth is, those of us who do these lists, whether it's on YouTube, but I can only speak from my YouTube, they get the most views. People love them. People love to piss on them. I made one video once. It's one of my biggest videos, and it's a ridiculous concept. I did it. I said the top 10 records of all time. Now, of course, there's no way anybody, including myself, can do the top 10 list of all time. But in that moment, in that mood, those are the top 10 albums of all time for me. And of course, maybe I should have called it my favorites in the moment. But, I did a little clickbait title on that. People love to watch that stuff, and they love to complain about those lists. And they're very popular lists.
Men love lists.
Yeah, well, women do too. I mean, whenever there's a top Rolling Stones or a top Dylan or a top XTC.
Jim was saying to me yesterday, he found a list of the best hand creams. And he wouldn't stop talking about it.
I did a list of the best 900 numbers in the LA Weekly one time, and I used the word ubiquitous.
Again, Rick Beato, from what I understand, was a musician. He was in a band. I thought he had something.
He's a producer, isn't he?
He's a producer. He became a producer.
Let me finish talking and then correct me.
Okay.
What I understand, he had some mild success in a band. Then he was a songwriter. Then he became a producer and stuff like that. But let's be honest. If Rick Beato had true talent, wouldn't he have been in a big band that we all heard of? And music?
Oh, geez, Rob. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Yeah. Okay.
No, I'm putting that out there to feed into his nonsense.
Roberto says it. I mean, Roberto Mazzi was in a band too. And I made a record.
Yeah, the Electric Fetus. What was it called?
The Electric Fetus is a record store in Minneapolis.
Okay. But please, we're all on the same page here.
Are you done now? Are you done? I was going to let you finish.
Nonsense. Give us a list, the lists that you make, Jim.
First of all,
I did a concert list, and it was
Beato didn't say what you say he said. Go watch the fucking thing. All he said was, it would have been nice if one of those guys had a background in actual music.
That's exactly what I said. That's exactly what I said.
You said he was putting every single one of them down for not having
hold on.
In music. No, all he said
Jim,
was it would have been nice if
I'll play the clip, Jim. He literally
Okay.
gave the credentials of each person. Jim.
Oh, I know he did. I'm not doing yes, of course.
So again, he was putting them down. He gave the credentials of each person. So again, go back and watch
out the possibility that one of them at least could have had a background in music. I think
there's an interview out there from some years ago at some big audio conference in Germany.
Hey, Scotty, hold on, Scotty, end your fucking bullshit. That's not what I said. That's not what I said.
It kind of came off that way.
Hold on. Here's your problem.
Attack Scotty like that.
I'm attacking him now because he's going down. He's going down comments. That was not my point.
Don't insult your audience.
Hold on. I want to, Scotty, you have horrible internet. So please go back and watch what I'm about to say. Based on what Rick Beato was doing to people that wrote this article, again, if they were to go against him, have you had hit songs? I wasn't bashing Rick Beato for not being famous. if you're going to attack me, Scotty, listen to the words coming out of my mouth and don't formulate some nonsense in your head. What you're saying right now is total bullshit. I don't need to relax. Why don't you think about what you're fucking hold on? Why don't you think about what you're fucking typing in the chat? How about that? Why don't you formulate and listen to the words? I wasn't bashing Rick Beato because he's not famous or didn't write a big song. I'm using his logic against him. That's all I was saying. And I asked people to correct me if I'm wrong. In my knowledge, Rick Beato, that's his background. So, Scotty, and commenting nonsense. That's my point. What is that? Is she like the cooler, Mazzy?
I have tattoos like that.
And Jim, you go back and watch the video.
Wearing a Meat Puppets t-shirt.
He went through each
person's
resume. He went through each journalist's resume. He did.
I remember.
Yeah,
I remember
that's bullshit. That's bullshit. I need to watch the video now. I haven't watched the video, so it's not fair for me to talk. I'm not going to criticize or support until I watch the video. I haven't watched the video.
Hold on, Scott. That's not what I said. Again, that's not what I hear. Scott, you and Scott. Do I have issues with people named Scott today? Here's the deal. I am not conflating commercial success with knowledge. I just said to you, my example was they make over 3,000 films a year in a professional way. Do you get to see every single one of those films? No. So I would imagine if you want to make a list of the best films of the year, you should watch every single one of them. I am not, dude, I spent 30 years surveying people about
back in my day,
about movies. I understand.
I used to work behind the popcorn machine.
I'll tell you this. One of the best testing movies I ever did, highest testing movies, was a flop. One of the worst testing movies I ever did,
Cabin Boy,
was a hit. No, that was a flop. And now, I like
Cabin
it.
Boy is the best movie ever made.
But so I fully understand that I don't conflate commercial success with knowledge. So again, let's all get back to the point of this whole rant. Rick Beato does this clickbait nonsense where he bashes people because they don't have some sort of credibility to do what they're doing. It's their opinion.
Rob, every YouTuber does some sort of clickbait every once in a while, including myself.
Not true. You do it all the time, Mazzy. I never
do it all the time.
I never do it.
I did. The one I did the other day,
videos,
I did. Okay, I did the CD versus. I said CDs versus vinyl. How do they measure up? Now, people who didn't watch started commenting, saying, CDs are better, vinyl's better, whatever. They didn't watch because the premise of that video was over the top shtick. It wasn't that CDs sounds better than vinyl or vice versa. It was about how they measure up literally linearly.
This is exactly what Marcus, you're 100% right. That's exactly what I said. But I did it in a hypothetical way to kind of push back on Rick Beato for having this opinion. I don't know. Again, I asked people to correct me. This is my understanding of Rick Beato's background. But in my opinion, if Rick Beato was to put the same thing on Rick Beato, he should have written a hit song and had success. That makes him the ultimate authority on to be able to talk about what he wants. Those are not the rules I put on Rick Beato. My issue is Rick Beato bashing people for having an opinion and then attacking them and going through their resume to say they don't have the right to have that opinion. Can we all get back on that?
Okay.
That is the source of
I want to respond here I need to respond to Concert Buddy. I used AI to combine two images that I took, original images. I didn't have AI create like Rob and Concert Buddy creates for their thumbnails. I took my CD room and my record room, and I used ChatGPT to put them together to make one image. And that's what they did. So I don't know Photoshop myself or illustration. So I can't do that myself. So that was used.
Here's the deal. Mazzy can do whatever the fuck he wants. Don't watch his channel, watch it. He made a thumbnail.
And it got people watching it.
But you freely, this is also a transparency thing. You admitted you used AI, right? You You weren't hiding it.
Oh, I don't hide
Let me
it. I
just
mean, yeah.
agree. I said this. Let's leave it at this. I like Rick Beato. When he interviews musicians, I feel like I learn stuff. And to be honest, some of the bull crap he says when he bashes like new music and stuff, how come he's interviewed Charlie Puth, who's I think is kind of a genius. Am I a huge fan of him? No. But he interviewed him. That dude has written songs that Rick Beato, I believe, has bashed.
Well,
As
okay,
being
I haven't. I'm going to
Spotify.
watch the Rick Beato interview. I haven't done it. I don't agree with it. He says he was critical of their expertise. How can you be critical of anyone's expertise? You might not
Watch
like
it before you.
Yeah, I will, but that seems weird because
it's so easy to see once you
my
watch it.
expertise is no better than Jim's expertise. We have different expertise.
Yes, it is. In certain
different.
areas, yours is much better.
No,
and
I
in
don't
certain
think better.
areas,
I hate
mine
to use
is
it,
much
but
better.
I hate even myself hate to use the word better. It's different. I have more
Yeah,
knowledge in certain areas, and I have a lack thereof in other areas. And that's
Yes.
I don't know a lot about.
I kind of agree with.
I don't
Rick
know a lot about
Beato
metal
that-
music. I don't
I
know
kind of
a lot
agree
about
with
metal
Beato
music.
that those people.
I don't know what a statue of Bon Scott looks like. I can't recognize Bon Scott from a.
Okay,
And that's a spoiler
right.
from the
But
recent contest.
you should give your opinion on more things that you haven't seen, Maz.
Oh, I never would. But
I mean,
You're doing it on this video. You haven't
no,
seen
I have.
the video.
I'm talking about the premise, not the video. I'm not criticizing.
I honestly
Rick
believe
Beato.
that Jim reached out to Rick Beato to write an article and he turned him down.
If that happened, I would be bashing the shit out of Beato. Anyone who treats me like a redheaded stepchild, they get it back. No,
You'd be lucky if you had red hair.
If I had hair. Hey, if we had eggs, we got bacon and eggs. If we had bacon.
I mean,
Oh, look. Let's go back to this. Why do I have 2 copies of this fucking piece of shit?
well, I don't know, but you should sell one of them because they'll go for some dough. Why do you? I think I gave you a copy of that record.
One of them has Alice Coner's name
Should
on
Billy
it.
Joel be on my list?
Well,
Yeah,
apparently
the best
Alice
songwriters. It depends how many songwriters. Billy Joel would not be in my top 20.
Hey, should we go over that list?
No, we done it. We did that last week.
All I'm saying, I mean, here's the deal, people. You're criticizing me for bashing Rick Beato. It's my opinion. Just
But
like
here's the thing: when you have, I don't know how, if you have 8 people judging, and you have 8 people from different disciplines, soul and R&B and rock and metal and whatever, you're going to get 10 different lists. There might be 1 or 2 that overlap. You'll probably, in an American songwriter, you'll always have someone like Dylan, Paul Simon, maybe, Stevie Wonder, maybe. You'll have the certain 2 or 3, but then you'll have people on and off the list. I would have put Warren Zevon on the list. That he didn't even make the list. Tom Waits would have been on my first list. He didn't make that first list. Randy Newman would have been on my list. He made the list of good American songwriters. But there's other people.
Randy Newman's, I don't think, is on the New York Times list.
I thought he was on it, or is he? If he's on the men, he's on the other 11. I thought he was on the list. I could be wrong.
You could think about it this way, and this is the way I kind of correct people. I don't like videos where someone discovers a movie, let's say from 50 years ago, and then their first thing is it's a very underrated movie. And my response to that is, no, it isn't. When it came out, it was a very praised film. People enjoyed it, and it made money. Just because you're 50 years divorced from it and you weren't alive and you just discovered it and no one's talking about it now does not make that movie underrated. It doesn't, right? Am I wrong about that?
Yeah, I mean,
right. It's
people have favorites, and obviously there's certain records. Like people who know me know that I'll get a certain artist or record and beat a dead horse. I'll constantly talk about Ry Cooder or Warren Zevon, and it's because it's someone I personally like. And like there was a comment I posted. I talked about before it came out. I haven't heard the Rhino Hi-Fi, but of Working Man's Dead. I fucking love that record. I think the harmonies are beautiful. That and American Beauty. The Grateful Dead listened and met with Crosby, Stills, and Nash to learn how to do those 3-part harmonies. And I think they did it pretty well. They're not as great as Crosby, Stills, and Nash harmonic-wise, but they're really good. Some guy went out and bought Working Man's Dead, never heard it, he tracked down a rare copy apparently, and he responded on my video that I bought this record because you were saying how great it was, and I thought their harmonies were terrible. And first of all, anybody can preview an album before they buy it today, so I don't feel any guilt for that. But why would you buy something just because I say it without listening to it first? And I still think the Grateful Dead has great harmonies on that record.
I flipped through the list. Over a bunch of those people I don't know.
But so Joni Mitchell's not American, so she wouldn't be on the list. She's Canadian.
All right. I don't.
There's an American list.
Right. Someone's going to probably yell at me right now. Is Patrick here to yell at me?
I certainly would not buy something just because Mazzy said it was good. So let me go on the record right now.
But you might go listen to it,
yeah,
right?
But do you, Patrick, do you disrespect him for having that opinion? No.
I disrespect him for all the other things that we talk about. But yeah.
Exactly, Patrick.
What would those be? Give me the top 10.
I'm not going to do what stays in the vinyl con chat. What happens in vinyl con chat stays in vinyl con chat.
Okay. Fair enough.
I mean, all I'll say is this. I am not a fan of lists. Sports lists, music lists, movie lists. I'm not a fan of them at all.
To say that, Patrick, when I used to read the San Francisco Chronicle, Ralph Gleason was the jazz critic, but he was the one that championed the Grateful Dead, Jefferson Airplane stuff. And week after week, or all week, he would have 2 or 3 articles a week. I got to know his tastes and things, and I'd buy something and this is the times you couldn't preview it. And almost every time I liked what he suggested. So same with Rolling Stone or Cream or, certain writers you would be in line with. So it's no different than us on YouTube now.
I mean, yeah, there are people that kind of have the same taste as me that I'll sit there and go, okay, I might try that. Then there are people who have completely other tastes, that I'm like going, I can never get there. So, I'll listen to anything once. I'll listen to anything one time. But I heard about Merzbow dude one time. That was enough for me to say, all right, I never want to hear him again.
Yeah. So. And there are people I read and watch, and if they suggest something and the way they talk about it, I'll go listen to it and see if I like it. I'll definitely go listen. I won't just buy it without listening to it.
Yeah. I buy stuff without listening to it. I mean, I still like going to a record store and finding a record and not going on my phone and, listening to it. If it was expensive, I might, but to me, it's still, I still like the mystery of going to a record store and buying something you're not familiar with, taking it home and listening to it and deciding if you like it. It may sound stupid and, you're wasting money. I can always sell the record again, but it just seems it's more fun for me to not sit there and go look at Discogs or stream something. I like the hit or miss aspect of going to the record store, which is how it used to be when I was growing up. So that's how I equate that with that. I don't care. I mean, Rob will sit there and sit on his phone and look shit up all day long, and it works for him. But that's just not how I do it.
Well, no. To be fair, there's 2 ways. Here's the knock. Here's the weirdos knock against me. I don't know what I'm talking about. I am the person who says my kinship to the jazz bums is I'm learning this stuff. I am still learning.
Oh, yeah.
But I am about to be a 58-year-old man. I have a life experience of listening to music. I have opinions.
Are you a 47-year-old woman now? What are you now?
I think we all are still learning.
You know what I'm not? A 23-year-old woman trapped in Mazzy's basement. That's what I'm not.
I don't trap anybody. And there were 4 people here. She wasn't alone.
Are we going back to that?
Hey, Mazzy, when you say that, can you say ossifer at the beginning of that?
Yeah.
No,
Missing lister.
But again, getting back to it, here's what I am. I am a pop culture fan. I watch YouTube videos, and for someone to make kind of clickbaity videos, I feel like it diminishes Rick Beato.
And it gets him a ton of views.
I understand, but that's what making a non music thing, which he's had trouble with, video that gets a lot of. You know what he did during the video, Jim? Do you remember this? He kind of viewed shame them. He viewed shame them. That's
What does
really
that mean?
one of the things that pissed me off.
What does view shamed mean? I don't understand what you mean by that.
So this is viewed shame. He goes, well, my video on the subject got over six, has it right now.
I didn't. Who was I shaming? I didn't mention anyone else.
Hey, listen, you putz. I'm talking about Rick Beato, not you.
Okay.
Rick Beato.
You're not at that level yet, Mazzy. Okay.
No.
So, oh, look, Rob kicked himself. He got so mad he kicked himself.
Good. Now can we? Okay.
No, thank God he's gone.
Beato just kicked me off. No, what I'm saying is Rick Beato. How do you in the peanut gallery feel about this? Rick Beato was flexing against people with them.
I've never, ever, ever seen anyone do that before. Rob does it really fast.
Well, hold on. It doesn't
Who
take
wound
much
up
Anyway,
to use the record collector news.
You know, we get it. You didn't like the video, Rob. I mean,
Nope.
I thought it was
Elliot.
fine. Okay,
Elliot.
whatever.
I
I
don't know if
didn't
you-
like that list. It's easy for me to be an old man. Get the fuck off my lawn. How come you guys don't get into a goddamn room together?
Why
when you
the
make
hell
that
would Randy Newman be on that list anyway? Just out of
Because he's a great
curiosity.
American songwriter.
He has like one hit ever.
Well, okay. Now you're
Now you're being.
misinformed.
What
You're
about all the
misinformed.
soundtracks that he did? All the
Forget
movies?
the hits. If you're gonna, his only two hits really are what? I Love L.A. and Short
People.
And then he had You Got a Friend in Me for Toy Story. Those are it.
Yeah,
But his song about Louisiana 1927,
Nice.
They're gonna wash them away. That was written before Katrina and
Plus, he
became
wrote a
even
lot
more
of hits
famous.
for other people.
Baltimore, that
did
song.
he write?
You can
Seriously,
leave your hat on.
how
That's
come
You're proving you're proving my point. But go ahead.
No,
How
it's not your
covered,
wheelhouse.
Fazzy?
He's a
Seriously.
great American
how
songwriter.
covered? Hold on. How
Harry
covered?
Nilsson did an entire album of his songs in
Okay.
1970.
Well, Harry Nilsson shouldn't be on that list either. Neither should Warren
He's
Zevon.
not. He's not. But he was a great songwriter too.
Was
The
Jackson
thing I
Brown
like
on that
about
list?
music
I
today,
haven't seen. Was Jackson Brown on that list?
No,
No.
Was Joni Mitchell on that list?
she's not American.
Okay, so it was only American. Okay.
Yeah, no Neil Young Canadians. Not
no
like
Beatles,
green-
no Beatles.
no green card Americans either. None of those people that Trump keeps, sending
Was
out.
was Jim Morrison on the list?
No, he's not a great songwriter. He had some great songs, but not a great songwriter.
And look, I'm not putting rules in this thing, but how covered was Randy Newman by other
Very
artists?
much so. Joe Cocker had "You Can Leave Your Hat on" a big, a lot of people. Three Dog Night had a big hit of his. Randy Newman was covered quite a bit, actually.
Anyway, he was just, I think it's a different kind of a list. And I wasn't.
Well,
I didn't-
everybody's list is going to be different, and your own list is going to be different a month from now. So,
But because it is in fact, New York Times, and they put out this list, why shouldn't they get responses from
was
guys
Carole
like
King on the list?
me?
Yes, and Goff. I mean, Burt Bacharach and Hal David should be on the list, definitely. Were they on the list? Burt Bacharach and Hal David?
I didn't notice them on the list. I looked through.
Anyway.
They should be on the list.
What about Norman Whitfield? Was he on the list?
Elvis
Was Norman Whitfield
Costello
on the
and-
list?
Elvis Costello is not American.
Jay-Z was on the list.
Norman
I'm not
Whitfield
sure
should be on that
Prince
list.
should be on the list. He's a great, I don't know. I like Prince a lot. I don't, in terms of songwriting.
What about Gamble and Huff? Were they on the list?
No. Who was? Well, were they?
You know what they did? You know who's on the list? Which seems weird with About Living, is the Holland Dozier Holland, and they took the one that was dead off of it.
They should be on the list. To
Yeah,
be
but
honest
one
with you,
of
and
them's
I'm not bashing her, but I don't believe Taylor Swift should be on the list.
Towns Van
Well,
Zandt is dead.
Let's be honest. From what I know
Tom
about
Van Zandt.
let,
John Prine.
hold on.
He's dead.
Regardless of Taylor Swift, from what I know about her, she writes with other people, right? So
Yeah.
is she sing?
Well,
can she be singing?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
Was Michelle Branch on the
Well, they
list?
have to be living. I didn't know that. Okay.
But you know what? I know where everyone who watches, their allegiance lies to Rick Beato over me. Thank you.
Mine does.
the Brill, Neil Diamond.
Jim, watch this. Next time I have a rant, Jim will pick the opposite side of my rant.
Neil Sedaka.
Neil. Yeah, maybe. I'd put Neil Diamond before Neil Sedaka. Stevie Wonder
I
definitely.
would, yeah.
I think Stevie
Hoyt
Wonder.
Axton, is Hoyt Axton still alive?
No, he died.
No,
long
he's
ago.
dead. He's dead.
But I mean,
I just think the way they make music these
Curtis
days, the way
Mayfield's
they
dead,
make
too.
records, it leads to
the stuff that becomes
bland
popular,
shit.
Jim, the stuff that becomes popular. But again, there are plenty of people writing songs that if there was a way for you to find it and you liked it,
Okay, but
Aaron McLaughlin's Canadian.
about it.
the music that is there for me to find.
Yeah, Sedaka died too.
What I
What
like
about Frank?
about
What about Frank
music-
Zappa? Was he on the list? Was Zappa
He's
on the
dead
list?
too.
He's dead.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, blood cancer.
I guess because it's only living, they have to include all these guys.
These dead
that put
people
out
are
music
fucking it
like-
all up.
No Marvin Gaye, and you know.
Why don't you have
Herbie
a rant?
Hancock still alive?
Yes,
Yeah.
but he's not really a songwriter. And you know.
Whoa.
Yeah, he is. Didn't he write
Yeah,
with
he is.
your pal Paul McCartney? He wrote some good songs.
Herbie
Hey.
Hancock.
No, Elvis Costello.
Oh, Elvis Costello. He's not American though.
It's not American.
Well, he's a naturalized. Is he Canadian resident?
You know, I did. Okay, last year I made a video of the what do they say? The best British songwriters, and you know who my number one I think was?
Somebody
Ray Davis.
pretentious. Okay.
Ray Davis, Kinks,
Davies.
or he was number two. Lennon McCartney was number one. Ray Davis was number two.
Didn't Donald Fagen write with another person?
Yeah, he wrote
Walter
with the dead
Becker?
guy. He
Yeah,
wrote with
Walter
and-
Becker.
And with the
He was
Holland
dead.
Dozier Holland, they took off the dead person.
They
Well,
just
I
had
mean,
Well,
Dozer,
Donald
Dozer.
Fagen, Nightfly. Donald Fagen has about 5 solo albums that he wrote without Walter.
And they're not
Becker.
great songs. They're great. They're nice records.
No,
I would say
Nightfly-
Nightfly has great songs. The
Yeah,
other
I
ones
agree
not-
with that.
Not
That's
so much.
the
But
one.
Nightfly has great songs. The other ones not so much. I would go there. I could go there.
Scotty, I'm not trying to single you out to yell at you. Donny Hathaway is dead. He's dead. And he's been dead a long time. But again, does people not agree that the main attack on Rick Beato is attacking people for having an opinion?
Well, I haven't watched it yet, so I'm gonna.
And then going through their resume and shaming them, that's what kind of ticked me off.
That's yeah. I'm gonna have to
I
watch
can
that video.
see. I can see coming from East Coast college boy bullshit attitude where that would tick you off, but fuck
Well,
those
hold on.
guys.
Oh, wait,
Wait,
I think Lionel Richie-
you look like you're just really upset about this whole thing, Jim. You have this look of like
Yo, hold on,
disgust on your face.
Jim. How am I an East Coast college boy? How?
You went to college on the East Coast, didn't you?
Yes.
I went to an art school, not known for their
Hey, Joe College. Yeah, Joe College.
not
Yeah.
known for
How
cerebral.
come Maisie Owen is not on the list?
I
Is
I
that the girl
dropped
who
out of
escaped
high
your house
school in
last
the
night?
11th
You're
Yeah,
just trapped in your
grade.
Didn't
basement.
stay at my
Get
house
on
last
that.
night.
Escaped. I said escaped your house.
She did. She came with or 4 of them came here free. They stayed here an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah,
We
3
played
of them
3
aren't
songs.
alive right now.
We
Yeah.
they looked through the record collection. They're really into John Prine and Nick Drake and Traffic. John Barleycorn. She loves that album. And she just they were
Hey,
just
can someone
full
check
moms.
if their bodies are in a U-Haul van parked right outside that?
and then I had dinner with Kimbo and Dr. Robert and a friend of Dr. Robert's. Dr. Robert is cleaning out his condo here. They're going to sell it, and so he was in town. So we went to Duke's Chowder House, had seafood last night.
And Dr. Robert does have the knowledge to dismember a body, right?
Yes.
Well, yeah,
he's got that bone saw.
right. So we went out to dinner, or we met at 6:30, or last night. They were a half hour late. Kimbo and I were there and waiting for them for a half hour.
I like John Barleycorn too, Marcus.
It's a great album. My favorite is the self-titled second album, though. But I love John Barleycorn's the trio, but they're a trio.
But
band.
I like Low Sparks the best. I
Hey,
think
Yeah.
Marcus,
That's more jazzy, yeah.
Marcus, I'm awarding you with you are now officially known as the Rick Beato apologist.
Billy Joel isn't on the list.
Change your name.
Billy Joel's not on that list.
No, I mean, people, again, Marcus, how would you like someone to attack you, go through your resume just for expressing your opinion about something?
You know,
How could Billy
YouTube
Joel not
alone,
be on that list? How could
YouTube
Billy Joel
alone
not be on
has
that
given
list?
the New York Times more eyeballs on this article they did, and more people are going to check it out. So controversy works. It sells subscriptions, and people
Can
will go.
Can we go back a little in time? Remember when the MoFi thing went down?
Yes.
What wasn't this the journalist at that wrote for the Washington Post?
Yeah.
He was everywhere.
Yeah.
And I had issue with that guy's nonsense.
I think that's pretty
But
good.
I'm not attacking his resume. He wrote an article. It was his opinion. I didn't agree with it. So again, that I'm okay with attacking people based on the substance of why I'm attacking them. I don't need to go, well, when you were 7, you kicked a cat.
You know,
how can we respect anyone who did that?
You know, if you're picking on one guy who says Billy Joel is irrelevant. Now, I don't think he's irrelevant at all. He just tweaks me the wrong way. But I used to like Billy Joel. I have the greatest hits, and I have The Stranger.
He's got way more
yeah,
than freaking Randy Newman.
He has more hits definitely than Randy Newman. I think Randy Newman is a better songwriter than Billy Joel by far.
You've got to be kidding me. Really?
No, I'm not kidding.
How can you even have you even listened
because
to
I've listened because I actually own and listen to all the records.
I have zero, none, absolutely no Billy Joel records.
Well, that makes sense because you like Frank Zappa and Captain Beefheart.
Billy Joel to me is just like, you know, it's just pop.
I don't hate Billy Joel as much as I pretend.
Which is weird.
Then get rid of all your Beatles records. You know, if you don't like pop, then get rid of all your Beatles records.
I like pop.
Weird about Jim because
Billy
Jim
Joel
will not
is
stop
repetitive bullshit. The Beatles
will not stop humming.
Basically,
please me is not repetitive.
Billy Joel took Elton John's style and music and Xeroxed it. There you go, and didn't do it as well.
No, Billy Joel is valid, but you know what? Fuck New York. I don't give a shit.
Elton John never did a song like "Sleeping with the Television On" or
no, he didn't.
Or "All for Lena." No,
Elton John's run from 1969 up through Blue Moves is incredible.
Hey, I love it. I love Elton John, but he's not American.
Worst concert I ever saw in my entire life. Billy Joel at the LA Sports.
Herc and I totally agree.
I saw him at the Dodger Stadium, and he was pretty good.
You know,
hey, Herc,
Randy Newman's a craftsman.
Can you scientifically prove this comment?
Yeah, I'll
craftsman.
vouch for that comment.
Give me a break. Yeah.
Now I will say Billy Joel's it wasn't a bad concert because of Billy Joel. It was a bad concert because the sound was so fucked up.
Okay, yeah, you're funny.
Well, don't blame Billy for that.
I still blame Billy for that.
Well, of course you do, because you have an axe to grind. Go put on a Beefheart record. Go put on a Beefheart record and try to convince yourself how great that is.
You know what? Hey, Jim.
Harry Nilsson definitely is great.
You need to show Billy Joel more respect. You know why?
Why?
Because you're probably the same height.
You know what? I could kick his ass. I think I could.
Well, now you can. He has a
Billy Joel a shorty? Okay.
Yeah, he has a debilitating.
I'm surprised Billy Joel didn't start an Elton John cover band.
Hey, and you know, Jim, there is a kind of connection between you and Billy Joel.
And when you have two first names,
got a woman way out of his league.
Well, yeah, both of us did that.
How many people are really named Joel? So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, two first names.
John
I never trust anyone with two first names. I've heard his story though, and it's kind of authentic. He's not like a full of shit guy, is he? I don't know.
Whoa.
Rick Beato?
No, Billy Joel.
I don't know.
I think it is what it is with Billy Joel. I saw him at Dodger
Billy Joel is very talented.
Trevor and I are the same size.
Billy Joel is very talented and a great showman.
Is
he?
He
made great records. He made great records.
If it's Billy Joel's birthday today, happy.
He dated some hot chicks too.
Right. I have hit the greatest hits album of Billy Joel. That's all I need. It's good.
Billy Joel wrote some great songs. I'm not saying he didn't great songs. Randy Newman wrote better songs. Didn't make big records.
No way.
Tom Waits wrote better songs than both of them.
Yvonne, you listen to a lot of crappy music. Why aren't you defending some of these artists?
Yeah, Tom Waits was better than both of those guys.
And Steven Tyler and Joe Perry are better than those guys too. So you can sit there and talk about those guys.
To be fair, Patrick, when Aerosmith had their resurgence, they didn't write a lot of those songs.
No. Well, I mean, they even had a song written by Diane Warren. So.
Yeah, that was like...
All right, Randy Newman, You Can Leave Your Hat On, covered by Joe Cocker. Mama Told Me Not to Come, Three Dog Night. Baltimore, Nina Simone. Snow, Harry Nilsson. Feels Like Home, Linda Ronstadt. I Don't Want to Hear It Anymore, Dusty Springfield. Sail Away, Ray Charles. Simon Smith, Amazing Dancing Bear, Alan Price. When She Loved Me, Sarah McLachlan. Guilty, Bonnie Raitt. Everything But the Girl, Political Science. Wilson Pickett, Mama Told Me Not to Come. The Gypsy Kings, You Got a Friend in Me.
Best song on that list was Mama Told Me Not to Come. So.
Yeah, that is a great song.
Listen, okay, I'll say this.
Every girlfriend says that to you.
I'm going to challenge Mazzy with this one statement. I'm challenging your take on Randy Newman had more success scoring films than he did as a songwriter.
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. So if
as a songwriter, sales-wise.
No, I'm talking as a performing recording artist.
Yeah, sales-wise.
Randy Newman, his scoring films dwarfs his
Toy Story is his biggest commercial
not just
success.
Toy Story. He scored
all the Barry Levinson movies, Avalon. He did The Natural.
What's the guy from Soul Asylum? Dave Pirner. He's a great songwriter.
Runaway Train.
Wait, should have been on the list. He's probably the best out there.
All I'm saying is Randy Newman was a better movie scorer than.
Yeah, Randy, I'm tired. How would you like to be the boss for a while?
Yes. I happen to meet Bruce Springsteen.
Mr. Bruce Springsteen.
Yes.
Pretty sure Bruce Springsteen was on the list, right?
No.
Bruce he had to have been on the list.
There was a list of artists who used the name Mary in most of their songs.
Raji, you and I are getting along swimmingly today.
This one, Dark Matter.
It's not a great record, but there's that great song about the Supreme Court.
There's the song Dark Matter where they're debating all this shit. It's hysterical.
It's a very political
and then Putin
wry sense of humor album. It's
really.
What about the guy that was in the Nerves and does the Plimsolls? Is Peter Crane? Peter Case, yeah.
Yeah, he's good.
He's a good songwriter.
Well, and the other guy, Jack Lee, that was in the Nerves.
He came up to me the other day and said, "Jim, I'm tired of being Mazzy. Will you be Mazzy for a couple of weeks? I need a break." You hear that? Mazzy asked me to be Mazzy while he's on vacation.
I'm tired of being the boss.
Is Lou Ann Barton a better songwriter than Lucinda Williams?
Roberto, I don't know anything yet. I'm still playing with the record flattener. It's going to be a few weeks. I don't know when they're putting it out. It's amazing. So far, it's amazing. And it's heavy.
Well, I've recorded a video, and the one that Jim has that I use, Fremer did a video of it, and he made it look like it was a toaster oven.
Which
Put
one?
the record in.
Not the one I have.
No, the one I just listen to what I'm saying.
Rob has. Listen,
the one I have. I'm going to put a video out on.
I have it too. I have the same one.
But you have to admit, Patrick, it took me 8 months to learn how to use it.
This one.
I'm still learning how to use it.
Yeah, Fremer made it look like it's like you put it in and it works. That's so.
I still can't get a taco warp out of a record. I can get it out, but it still has that whoosh. So.
Yeah, that it's hard to get rid of that. And okay, Patrick, I have a thing. So someone gave me a bunch of new records, and they must have be made out of plastic mostly, because they were warped. And I put it on the highest setting for the longest time, and they would not flatten. They were like modern records, like a Taylor Swift. I don't know what formulation vinyl they're using.
Look at Mondo.
Is that the project? Which one is that?
No, this is the new one, M2. It's not out yet. It's about $700. It weighs 32 pounds. It's amazing, but I did one record so far.
Hey, Mazzy,
sounds like the record pie.
can you cook a quesadilla in it?
Yes.
So the thing
You can make panini in it.
So the thing about the one you and I have, Rob, is like now they're coming up with this thing where it's not just meant for flattening your record. You should relax your record so it sounds better. So I tried it and I didn't make it sound any better.
Yeah. So I have a one that goes for a little bit of money, a Wilco record that has marks on it, and it wasn't particularly warped, but I put it in there to see if it would make it sound better. So,
and did it?
Nah, maybe a little bit, but I think cleaning it the extra way based on your suggestion.
So they say that there's the relaxed method where you just throw any record in there and it's supposed to make it better just by making it open up or whatever. I'm not going to put every record in there for like hours. Just
isn't it hysterical in the world we live in today, the Rick Beato style bashing world we live in today, that they can't record videos of a record being relaxed and post it? You know, that's
they
what
could, but those people don't speak English. Is not their main tongue either.
Well, writing manuals is not. That manual
is worse.
It's horrible.
And even the interface for the thing is horrible. You know, hit escape and then hit enter and like it's really bad.
It is.
This machine has a very simple interface. It's like basically two buttons. You have three options.
Save it for the video. Don't blow it all on this, Rod. On Mazzy, you need to save yourself for the actual.
Rob's audience is like dwarfed compared to.
Hold on.
Oh, you shamed him.
Did Mazzy just Rick Beato shame me?
Yeah, you just Rick Beato the shit out of you.
Hey Joseph, send me your warped records and I'll flat.
You got $1.65 watching right now, Rob. It's not good enough. I'm gonna juggle.
It's
okay.
69, by the way.
I don't want to name names.
I've been juggling your lame comments since I got here. So yeah.
I don't want to name names, but someone in the peanut gallery just sent me a text on yet another Paul McCartney variant. I'm not ordering any of these variants. Stop sending me variants. Everyone's sending me these fucking variants.
Can you work on your?
I appreciate it, but I'm not buying variants of this fucking Paul McCartney record.
Can you work on your strengths, Mazzy? I think you would do great with having 15 different copies of this Paul McCartney record and doing a shootout.
I made the mistake with McCartney 3 during the pandemic, please. So I'm not going there again.
No, you didn't. Your fucking ass bought one for $50.
Well, I did buy one that paid for all.
Don't you have a treasure chest you can sit on or something? Didn't you have like a chest where you sat on
you
for
had
a while? The George Harrison.
Yeah, I do have that.
Hey, just so I know, the rumor that Mazzy has this girl flattening records for him is untrue.
By the way, we're doing a collective auction with Kimbo.
You have like a sweatshot.
Kimbo, Joey Callio, and I are doing a Whatnot Thursday, 4:30 Pacific.
So did you find out what the deal is with your friend leaving Whatnot there, Maggie?
She's not leaving Whatnot. I don't know what that is.
She literally says, last show, come say bye. Literally says that.
Well, I didn't see her on there last night. Was she on?
No, she moved it. She moved it till today. She moved it till today.
She's got like 10 scheduled through June, but I don't know.
Why would
they were scheduled earlier?
Why would she leave?
She was in New York for a week or a week and a half. So maybe,
unless she's opening up her own record store, so that would be the only thing I think of. Yeah.
She well, I don't know. She was in New York for a week and a half, and so maybe that was scheduled before, like she was scheduling and then leaving, going away for a week and a half. She did take 2 weeks off shows. Maybe that was scheduled before. I don't know. I didn't reach out to her. I'll reach out to her and find out what the deal is. That the guys are all worried that she's going to switch and go to the eBay live auction.
I'm just curious if she found something better. So I mean, that's like.
I'll find out. I'll let you know when I find out.
I have a question. I have not watched. Is the eBay live very similar?
I don't know. It just seems to me to get lost.
One thing cool about the eBay one is you can rewatch somebody else's video live stream. So there's only been one or two that I found that were vinyl. One guy was called the Vinyl King, and it looked very similar to what the Whatnot looks like. Even
the Whatnot, you can similar. Like if you stream it on YouTube, I can leave it up on YouTube forever, but I don't.
No. This is in eBay. You can rewatch the recording. So
obviously they're doing this because they're losing some stuff to Whatnot. So.
Well, here's my problem with Whatnot and why I'm very on the fence about it. I went on there last night. There were 20 people auctioning records.
So
the bad thing about Whatnot is that
Too
most
many.
of the sellers don't know how to clean a record, don't know how to grade a record,
well,
don't
that's
know how
the
to judge a
seller.
record.
Don't blame the platform for the seller. You know.
Well, but that's the people they attract. And you know, you have people that just want to buy $1 and $2 records for the
Yeah.
most part.
But I've done pretty well with Kimbo, and
You know.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
some
see,
records go for more, some go for
Mazzy,
less.
you have to agree on this.
What?
You brought people to Whatnot.
Yeah,
you
of
didn't
course.
show up at Whatnot.
However, the stats show that over 65% of each of each auction I do are new buyers. It's not the same handful that you and I would get on YouTube.
Mazzy,
We get new buyers.
yeah, I understand that, Mazzy, but for you to have immediate impact on Whatnot, you have to be like the In-Groove and
Yeah.
where you
I
bring
don't disagree with
people
that.
there.
You have to build an audience.
I show up at Whatnot today and do a Whatnot. I'll have 5 people there.
But you build,
So,
like anything, like it's like a YouTube channel. You build the audience. You build it.
But the problem is on Whatnot also is that people are just hitting and running, and I do the same thing. You sit there, you go in, you jump out, because there are 20 people screaming, you know, selling records. If somebody's like lulling or not into something, you're jumping around. I see people jump around all day.
The thing is,
I see people so and so joined over here, so and so joined over here.
Okay, let me ask you this. We've all done the YouTube thing and are fine. I don't like the back end because I'm lazy. I don't like typing the names and all that, the addresses and all that, and all that shit. So this
Pirate
saves
ship,
me.
just use pirate ship. You don't need to type anything.
I know, but okay. Well, this saves me. I do what used to take me a day or day and a half. I do it in 2 hours now. Okay, for me, maybe I'm lazy and I'm not coordinated, but that's how long it takes.
Well, you know how many boxes I did on Sunday?
I know you're better than me in that.
I had
But the thing
25.
is, Patrick, my guess is you got the
25
same. You probably got the same 20 people every week buying records, more or less.
I have a good steady group of people. I get 1 or 2 new people that stick around.
Well, I get like most.
But
of
here's
my
here's the difference, Mazzy, is that in Whatnot you've got to load up your store, all that shit. When I do my auction, I just got to pull a record. I know you don't have to, but it's better. It's better for you.
Yeah, it is.
And that takes a lot of time. Take a picture and upload it, all that bullshit. But when I sell on YouTube, I just have a box of records. Hey, here it is. Play it on the record. You want it?
Then on the other end, and once the auction is over, you download the PDF and print out the labels, and it's done. You know.
But as you said, most of the people who buy my records have bought before, so I just look in pirate ship and grab the old one, duplicate the shipment, and then change the weight and go.
I have a Google address book that fills it in automatically. What it does horribly is when I pick another country, it messes up the address. So I have to be on top of that. But I mean, it's like clockwork. I did the auction for over 3 hours. I broke it up. If I boxed up every record straight through, it would take me about 3 hours to do all those records. And then I dropped them off yesterday morning in 15 minutes. I've got it dialed in with having that label maker.
That label maker is a godsend, man. I'm telling you, man. That thing is the greatest thing ever. My
recommendation, because I kind of got stuck with boxes that never got delivered, and I think the labels fell off the box, is I tape the label onto the box now. So
yeah, I've never had a problem. I think it's the quality of the label you purchase.
Yeah. But you never. I mean, I go on Amazon and buy a big box of them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've got like 1,000 in the closet.
But you know, like I think we're over the hill. There are still the 5 morons who love to insult all of us, but they hate us because they ain't us. But
there are only 5 people there are only 5.
There is a group.
I thought there was more.
For me, look, there are plenty of people who don't like me. You know what they do? They don't watch me or succumb themselves to me.
So what's the cool thing about selling on Whatnot or eBay is that these people that yell at you could buy your records and you can take their money even though they don't like you. So that's
one thing I don't have to track. I mean, literally once the package arrives, the money goes in my account. I don't have to say, hey, here are the people, here's what you owe me and all that stuff. I don't have to do any of that, because they're,
Hey,
the
but
people
however,
I know,
they do pay
just
more
pay,
because
so, yeah.
they have to pay sales tax and things. So,
Hey, the label, there's no particular brand because I honestly believe there's a factory in China.
They're all the same thing.
They're all the same label maker with just different names. It's like Bluetooth. It's this big. It's perfect.
What am I showing a lack of knowledge of Bluetooth printers? Okay, guilty as charged. I don't know jack shit about Bluetooth printers.
I mean,
but yes,
it's
go ahead.
the type. And if it breaks,
JD Cohen is saying that I'm showing my lack of knowledge. Lack of knowledge of what? There's a lot of things I don't know shit about. So please be more specific. Listen, if you're going to tell me what I don't know about, tell me. There's a lot of things I don't know shit about. So please narrow it down a bit so I can improve. The name, mine says BT320. So that's all mine says.
Alan, how many dog bites have you gotten in your career? Thank you.
I tape my labels on. I don't use the pre-stick-em ones.
Yeah.
I just use paper. That's all.
Listen, Mazzy still puts notes on the legs of pigeons. All right. Day. Thank you for coming by.
Let that girl out of your basement, Mazzy, for Christ's sake, before the end of the day.
Hey, Scotty and Marcus.
Services.
Hey, Scotty and Marcus, you're just part of the fun. I'm leaving here without any ill will feelings, except towards Jim.
Shut up, Rob.
Taking Rick Beato's side on everything.
Shut up. Hey, everybody.
Yeah, you know what? That's the perfect way to phrase it. All of Rick Beato's are dropped out of his butt like a turd.
Bonsoir, farewell, outfitters saying good night.
I hate to go and leave this pretty sight.
Later.
I was in that play. Bye.